Outlast is notorious for its night vision mechanic, which is like a hearing aid for deaf people, but instead, it's to let you see in the dark rather than hear. Well, anyway, what would happen if we were to take away your only resource to see in the dark? Can you beat Outlast without using your camera? And before you ask me, what do you mean without using your camera? Let me explain. I can't use the camera no matter what, especially using its night vision to see. That's all, plain and simple. Before I forget, during this run I do accidentally pull up my camera, but I immediately put it down and it didn't really help me as I didn't use night vision. Also, sometimes when I died it would respawn me with the camera and night vision, but once again I put it away before I could see my surroundings. Alright, let's get started. I'm going through this run on nightmare mode because I'm not a puss, though you could call me one for not playing on insane, but no. I didn't prepare for this run and was not willing to restart every time I got killed. We begin off by driving to Mount Massive Asylum because the protagonist is a crazy mofo that definitely wants to get killed. After parking his car, the protagonist grabs his camera and starts using it. Alright guys, we already failed the challenge. I'll see you guys next time. Nah, I'm just joking. It's a cutscene so it doesn't count. Also, I like how we had 2 batteries, but when he put them in his camera, only 1 battery popped up. Inside, I busted through a door and the game failed to jump scare me, and after searching in the dark for a while, oh my god! Gary? Is that you? What did they do to you?
Can unlock the main doors from security and control. You have to get the fuck out of this terrible place.
I'm sorry, Gary. I'll escape for you. Outside the room, I try to shimmy through a narrow passageway and I get grabbed by Peppa Pig's dad, who throws me off the 2nd floor with ease. Down there, I meet a priest named Father Martin, and after waking up, I snatch the keycard. On my way to the security room, I get attacked by some wheelchair guy and I thought I actually died for a second. I get to the security room and try to unlock the main doors, but then we see Father Martin turn off the power. That son of a bitch. I hid inside a locker as Daddy Pig tried to break in the room, and as soon as he opened the locker next to me, I booked it. I was too fast for Daddy Pig as he couldn't even catch up to me, and we make it to the first dark area of the gameplay. Completing this part was easier said than done because this is what I saw with no camera. Yeah, it's pretty dark. I managed to find a button and immediately pressed it, then hid in the locker. I don't know why this always happens to me, but as soon as I came out of the locker, I got smacked and died. After a couple of attempts, I found out where the 2 rooms were and created a tactic where I opened both doors, run back and press the first button, then press the second button before hiding under the bed. Then I would wait until I saw the inmate's legs exiting the room. After he walked out, I would crouch and make my way to the last switch. I couldn't find this door for a good 15 minutes and had to crouch while staying close to the walls to try to find the door, and eventually I found it. I flipped the switch, hid in the locker, and decided to get out, but as soon as I did, he busted through the door and killed me. I re-attempted this part and managed to get the power on this time. I made it back to the security room, and this time I got injected with a thick ass needle, and Father Martin tells me I can't leave yet. Stop it, man. I just want to go home. I wake up in a cell and the door magically opens, and after searching for a while, I found a room that led me up to the 2nd floor. I went to the prison security room on the 2nd floor, and as soon as I opened that door, I took off, but for some reason turned around and the maniac saw me. I ran to a jail cell and locked myself in, but I couldn't find the bed to hide underneath, and he punches me. I ran away and lost him, then smacked the button in the security room. I grabbed the shower room keycard and headed into the shower room. You can easily get past this part by jumping out of the window, and I pressed another button in yet another security room. Somehow, something caught on fire and I got blown off the 2nd floor and landed on a yummy looking pile of corpses. I saw Daddy Pig's thick ass jumping from a window, and when I tried to escape, he grabbed me and ripped out my esophagus. It respawned me with my camera, so I put it away and immediately started trying to escape. I used the tactic I saw in a speedrun where you turn right on the stairs and jump, which should give you a little shortcut, and I accidentally tried to open a locked door. Daddy Pig somehow didn't catch me and I escaped from him. I made it to the prison where I got attacked by an inmate before he gets grabbed and dies after getting pushed off the 2nd floor. In the sewer, I found 2 valves and turned them to go down a long ass ladder. I spent quite a while in the dark before finding another ladder. I found myself at another difficult dark area, and I was supposed to jump on a box to get up. The box was literally at my waist, and the character couldn't even jump on it. I found another box just under the water, and wow! I managed to jump on it, and then I fell right back into the water. After passing that area, we get to a big room and I see Daddy Pig in the distance. I made it around him and escaped through a ladder. Outside that room, I got beat to death, and when I respawned, the same guy managed to find me, but I escaped this time. In the male ward, I got chased and somebody told me to get in the dumbwaiter if I wanted to live. I assumed he was a sane person, but when I got to the top, he does the 1-2 McGregor on me and ties me to the wheelchair. He tries to be funny by telling me to run off if I want to, even though he knows I'm bound to a wheelchair. We are forced to look at his booty cheeks and he goes to grab a pair of scissors from a urinal. He then cuts off my fingers with those dirty ass scissors, and that wasn't enough for him, so he smacked me before cutting off my other finger. After he leaves, I break free and find out that Mr. Bear Cheeks actually works here but got brainwashed and is now crazy. I hid in the corner waiting for Mr. Bear Cheeks to get far away enough and ran. I found the key to the elevator and he immediately starts breaking down the door next to me. I did the same corner trick and made it to the elevator, but Mr. Bear Cheeks was not going to let me leave. He tries to kill me before I push him back and he gets pancaked by the elevator. After that, I go downstairs and Father Martin tells me to meet him outside. Hey man, I don't know why you keep telling me to go everywhere for you if I only talk to you for 3 seconds when I get there. After some troublesome navigation through the dark, I make it to a lit kitchen. No, seriously, it's lit on fire. To put out the fire, we once again have to find 2 valves. Very original game. And of course, finding the 2 valves wouldn't be complete without Daddy Pig trying to find us, would it? I turned the first valve and literally ran the right direction towards the second valve, but turned around because I thought it was the wrong way and died. I died a couple more times during this and found out that Daddy Pig couldn't shimmy through a narrow passageway. Yeah, thick boy, you're gonna need to up your cardio if you wanna catch me. I turned the second valve, turned on the sprinkler, and we make it to the worst part of this run. The outside. I don't want to go into too much depth with this part because it was annoying as hell. I had to wait for flashes of lightning that didn't even last a second to see, and by the time it was gone, I still didn't know where to go. I also got punched by a ghost, barely escaped Daddy Pig, and we were back inside. Thank God. Once again, we meet Father Martin, and I have to use the upper floors to reach him. I spent a long time trying to find a door that was masked in the darkness, and when I made it to the upper floors, I opened the door, then immediately closed it because I thought he would kill me, but he didn't. That is, until I grabbed the fuse. I ran out of the room, and another inmate ran out of the door right in front of me, so I turned around and guess what? The one I locked in earlier just busted through the door. I somehow managed to lock myself in a room and grab the fuse. I got the last fuse, put it in the machine, and smacked that button. Downstairs, I went to the laundry chute and snatched the key to the 3rd floor. After making it to the 3rd floor, I opened the door and immediately got a knife in my gut. After a few attempts, I made it past the twins and then I lost my camera. I mean, it's not like I really needed it anyway. I tried to continue on without my camera, but the game says that I need my camera to navigate through the darkness. Who do they think they're talking to? I legit went through this whole gameplay without using my camera, and now the protagonist needs his little camera to see? What a pussy. While trying to get my camera, I actually got jump scared for the first time. When I got my camera back, it automatically turned on night vision, and you're supposed to look around you because there will be multiple men waiting to gangbang you. I made it back and immediately started to navigate through the darkness. What was that about not being able to navigate through the darkness without my camcorder? I saw Daddy Pig's silhouette down the hallway and hid, but when I tried to take a peek at him, he killed me. After respawning, I just ran straight for my objectives because I knew that Daddy Pig couldn't catch me. After making it past him, I had to find a key to unlock a door leading upstairs. In the recreational hall, I saw an inmate playing some music on the piano, but I think I scared him off because when he saw me, he left. I snatched the key and hid from one of the twins. Once I made it past him, I stared at his other twin, taunting him before proceeding upstairs. Upstairs, I met the twins who just tried to kill me and stared into their eyes for far too long. Inside, Father Martin tells me he fixed the elevator and then he gets burned to death while crucified. Down the hallway, I saw Daddy Pig approaching, so I turned around to hide. I managed to run past him with a little juke tactic and I made it to the elevator. The elevator stopped on the 1st floor and I thought it was free at last, but then it suddenly started to go down even more and it brought us to the lab. The lab was easy because it's so bright in here you don't even need the camera. I saw a ridiculous math equation and didn't even attempt to solve it. I got chased by the ghost that punched me earlier, and at the end of the hallway, Daddy Pig was waiting there and he tried to kill me. But all of a sudden, the ghost started performing WWE moves on Daddy Pig and throwing him around like he was a piñata getting hit by a bunch of kids before turning him into ground pork. Even though he killed me many times, and he tried to kill me just now, I still love him. Rest in pieces, Daddy Pig. Ha, you get it? He got chopped up into pieces. No? Okay. I met up with the person who runs this place and he tells me to turn off the life support to a person named Billy. I reached the valve to Billy's life support or something and turned it off, then ran away, and somehow the Walrider couldn't catch me even though he's a ghost. I then went to the opposite side to turn off the electricity to his life support. This was the only hard part for me because there was a section that was dark and you had to jump over something, but I didn't know and kept dying. I eventually made it through and ripped the electrical cords out of the generator, somehow not electrocuting myself. I tried to jump over the massive opening and got grabbed by the Walrider. He throws me all the way down, I'd say 10 flights of stairs, and somehow I just stand up and brush it off like it was nothing. I made it back to Billy and turned off that boy's life support and filmed him dying before I got thrown against his pod. The Walrider tosses me around like how he did to Daddy Pig and then possesses me, and I fall maybe 10 feet to the ground. For some reason, the protagonist is sleeping now even though he was fine after being dropped from a much higher place earlier. I also couldn't take 2 steps without stumbling on something and going blind. I made it to the doors and was awaited by SWAT members who mercilessly pumped all of their bullets into me. We just played the whole game to die. Wow, thanks game. So, can you beat Outlast with no camera? Yes you can. And if you want to play this game with no camera, I would recommend either preparing or watching a YouTube video, otherwise it can get very tedious. I was even tempted to take out my camera at times. Make sure if you liked the video to consider subscribing and possibly hitting the like button for me. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just saying. Also, comment what game challenges I should do and I'll try to do them. Alright, see you guys next time.